Hello everyone, and welcome back to your review notes on operations with integers. Let's get started. Let's first talk about adding and subtracting integers. Now, the two expressions we have here are 4 plus a negative 8 and 4 minus a negative 8. The first thing that we want to do is if we happen to see two symbols next to each other, we need to figure out what they become. So, starting off, if we see two symbols next to each other and they're different. In other words, this one here, we see a plus and a minus. Together, this will just become a minus, and then now I can go ahead and rewrite my other two numbers. So we actually get 4 minus 8 from the first expression. In the second expression, I have 4 minus a negative 8. I see here negative and negatives next to each other. I can rewrite this as a positive, and then just bringing the other two numbers back down once more, we now have 4 plus 8. So now that we know what to do when we have two symbols next to each other, let's talk about the values of the numbers themselves. So if our two values have different signs, what we then need to do is take the difference of the two values and the sign of the larger looking number. And I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. Now, if we have the same signs for both numbers, then we need to take the sum and the sign of either numbers. So an easy way to kind of remember this is that if we have different signs starting with the D, then we go ahead and take the difference of the two numbers. If we have the same signs, then we take the sum of both of those numbers. Let's see how this will work in an example. Here we go. In example 1, find the value of the expression below. I have here a negative 9 plus a negative 1. So from earlier, I do see that I have two symbols right next to each other. And because they're different, I know that they're going to turn into a minus. And then now all I need to do is rewrite the remaining values. So I have a minus 9 or a negative 9. And I just bring down the 1. Now I need to consider what the signs are for both of these numbers. I see that the 9 has a minus and the 1 also has a minus. So because they have the same signs, I'm now going to take the sum of the two numbers. In other words, 9 plus 1. And 9 plus 1 is 10. But because both numbers are negative, I need to go ahead and add a negative symbol. And so negative 10 is our final answer. Okay, go ahead and pause the video here and see if you can give this one a try on your own. Okay, go ahead and double check over your answers. As always, look to see if you have two symbols that are right next to each other and take care of those first. Because I have the same symbols, it becomes a positive, which turns my expression into 10 plus 5, and 10 plus 5, we know that to be 15. Okay, now let's go ahead, let's quickly talk about multiplying and dividing integers. There's really only two quick rules for this. If the two numbers have the same signs, then their product, or when you divide them, is going to be positive. If they have different signs, the two values that you're multiplying or dividing together have different signs, then the answer will be negative. And that's really all there is to it. So let's go ahead and let's use that in example 2 to find the value of the expression below. I have here negative 11 times 7. I see that the two have different signs because 11 is negative and 7 is positive. This means that my answer is going to be negative. And then now all I need to do is multiply 7 and 11 together, which is 77. And so our answer here is negative 77. Go ahead and pause the video here and see if you can give this one a try on your own. Okay, go ahead and double check over your answers. So this time we had the same signs, and when we have the same signs with multiplying, our answer is going to be positive, and then we just need to multiply 6 times 3. All right, that is it for your review notes for operations with integers. Thank you very much for watching.